My name is Wuraola, and I came from the United States to give this testimony. The first testimony is about my sisters. Many testimonies, but I'll be specific. The first testimony is about my sister. She shares the same birth month with Pastor August, and she suffered from hemorrhagic ovarian cyst. The doctors had said she needed immediate surgery, but after the August prayers, she went for another test, and the hemorrhagic ovarian cyst had disappeared. Amen. The second testimony is about my mom. Whilst we were growing, she had done a lot of businesses. I can't even count. She did fashion designing. She did foodstuffs. Everything would always crash. Then lately, in the last 2 years, she would suffer from unexplainable body pains, aches. We'll go to the doctors. They couldn't find a solution. Now, when I joined NSPPD 2021, she would say, "This is your pastor. He looks too young. He has this haircut." But as time went on, she saw the changes in my life, and she keyed into the altar. Now, she had an encounter where she was in a cage underground, and Pastor met her and opened the cage and pulled her out and took her up the steps and told her to go. And she woke up, and since that time, she's perfectly free health-wise. In terms of her business, last year, she decided to venture into poultry business. She sold out all her chickens. She was even connecting with other poultry business owners because the demand was a lot, and she had to even connect with other people to sell chickens to. So God has been very faithful. Now, coming to me, I used to be very lukewarm. And the devil afflicted me with addiction, masturbation, for about 7 years. But after the mid-year fast last year, Pastor said, "You need to make a decision. You can't be hot or cold." And I told the Holy Spirit, I said, "Help me." And since that time, God has been faithful. I haven't had any encounter of such. The Holy Spirit speaks to me. The Holy Spirit talks to me through his words, through Pastor, through Papa, through the Bible. And I have grown stronger than I've ever been in my years of existence. Now to the big one, Ogadi Loud. What God cannot do. What God cannot do. I had my first master's in the UK in the year 2021. And, as a high flyer, I joined an international organization that I liked. When I joined the firm, things were going well. But 6 months down the line, they were supposed to give me a full-time offer. Then there was a lot of stories. "We like you, you are good, but we are sorry." I even got excuses like, "You look too young to lead this organization, to lead this team," and all of that. To cut the long story short, I packed my bags and I came back to Nigeria. 2 years later, I decided to go for my second master's in the United States. And I got into a firm I wanted again. I did very great. My manager, a white man, he liked me, and I was recommended. Normally, once you're recommended by the people you work with, it is an automatic offer. But then the devil struck. For 6 weeks, I didn't hear from them. Then later on, in November last year, I had a courtesy call with HR telling me, "We like you, you are good, but we're not sure we're going to have you. We may need to let you go." And I was like, "Oh my God, affliction will not rise a second time." Then I usually join the daily prayers. On that day, that November 7th, the daily prayers were about fighting against repeated disappointment. And Pastor said things like, "Affliction will not rise again the second time. That offer that's been taken away from you will be given back to you. The Lord is opening the book of remembrance. Repeated patterns will not happen." And I keyed onto it. Even on the Monday for 7 a.m. prayers, it's usually 1 a.m. my time, but I always join. My friends will even tell me, "Wura, are you not pastor? You are carrying this in your head." I'm like, "Let me carry it on my head. I know where I'm coming from." So it went on, and then Pastor gave a declaration. He said, "Before November 20, they will call you back. That rejection is already rejected." And I held on to it. One woman also testified that she was waiting on God for the fruit of the womb, and she held on to the word for months. So I held on to that word. I refused rejection. I stood in the gap. Ladies and gentlemen, within 4 days, the HR called me back, and they said, "We are sorry. It was a mistake last week. We want you. We want to have you work with us." And they gave me offer that I've never received in my life. My generation has not. Let me just say that. The benefit, and I finished my master's of business administration in May, and I already have an offer waiting for me in June in one of the major biopharma firms in the United States. I just want to give God the glory. I want to thank God because He's merciful, He's kind, and I want to say what God cannot do,